Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptoverse with me, your host, Chris Coney. So I'm doing camera video today because there's a crypto dip, and some of you say that you prefer to see me on camera because you want to look at my eyes to see if I'm telling the truth. That's a comment that I get sometimes. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever you want to do. I'm not always going to do it on camera. Sometimes I don't have the time because it takes a lot more preparation, but that's just by the by. With the summer light though, it does help the camera settings quite a bit. So the title of today's video is, I did say we would do for a crypto pullback, which is what we've got a bit anyway. And I've picked out 2 or 3 of my top news stories for the day. So let's get into it. Let's see, I'm doing this live today because I can do the market analysis in real time. And I'm also stood up today, so let me know if that makes any difference to my delivery. So let's begin with a few news stories. But let's start with the good news, and then we'll go on to the market dips and what the hell's going on there. So let's go. If you want to help support me, by the way, check out the cryptoverse.show and you'll find all the benefits of being a supporter. I'll tell you more about that later. But the first news story, in any case, is this one. Check this out. Russian opposition leader raises $3 million in Bitcoin donations. Well, yes, this is CoinDesk article. So yes, $3 million, but it was over a 3-year period. So it's not like happened in next to no time at all. On the one hand, good use of crypto, right? It allows an easy way for people to donate to political candidates. On the other hand, I can already see this particular story being used as fuel for the anti-crypto crowd. So if I were in the anti-crypto crowd, I can almost hear it. They would say, well, the problem with taking political donations via crypto is that we don't know the source of the funds. We don't know where they're coming from. And that opens up the possibility of foreign nations using large amounts of capital to influence politics of other nations by donating anonymously with crypto. So that's one of the things that I like to do. I don't like to just fix to my own point of view. I like to do 180-degree turns sometimes and sit on the other side of the table and imagine what the opposing argument would be, because I want to understand other people's points of view. And that was me doing that. I just sit on the other side of the table, and I'm obviously a crypto evangelist, but I'm like, if I was going to argue with myself, what would I say? That's what I would say. I'd say, well, this opens up for foreign nations to meddle in other people's politics, economically speaking. So that's mixing up, politics and money again. It's just a bit of a pain. Anyway, at this moment, I don't know how I would actually argue against that, right? So the whole, if the Russian government objects to political candidates receiving donations in crypto for fear of foreign nations meddling with their politics, if they said that to me right now, I can't think of a way in this particular moment to argue against that and say why it would be fine. So help me out with this, will you? In the comments, how would you respond to an objection that, we can't use crypto for political donations because of foreign meddling? What would you say in response to that? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested. Next story. The Kashar app now accepts debit and credit cards for crypto purchases. All right, before you skip, you might think, yes, I'll find another way to buy crypto with a card payment. However, this one's a little bit different. First off, credit where credit is due. Bitcoin Magazine gave me this news story. Kashar now accepts debit and credit cards for crypto purchases. But yes, it's not just another one of those stories. What's notable about this one in particular is that they are coming into the market with much lower fees, given that their mission is to bank the unbanked. Fees could completely cripple the ability for people in third world nations to buy crypto. So it says here that the Kashar app will be offering transaction fees that are half or a third lower than the industry average. So that's the unique thing that they're bringing to the table. And that's why I say it's not just another way to buy crypto with cards. The difference here is a major improvement in the fee department. Excuse me. They also specifically say here that there's no hidden fees or markups on the Bitcoin exchange rate that they offer. So it's not like they're give you the spot rate. I did read the Kashar website, and there's a flat fee of like 1.5%, but it's transparent. They say, right, that's the fee, that's it. Flat fee, 1.5% across the board. And that's like 1.3% plus a 0.2% withdrawal fee or something. So 1.5% flat fee. The only other thing to note here is that it excludes the United States. but they do have support for currencies like the Philippine peso and the Indian rupee, Singapore dollar, Swedish krona, pound, sterling, euro, blah, 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 blah. Great for remittance payments, right? If I just went into Cash Out app, used my British debit card, bought some crypto, low fees, good exchange rate, and then whipped them over to the Philippines, that's what I'm talking about. So that's how we're going to help bank the unbanked. You might argue, well, people in third world nations might not have a credit or debit card. That's not the point, though. It means that people that do, like in Europe or in the UK or even in India, they could use, someone in northern India could use their debit card to buy some Bitcoin and then send it to someone in southern India who doesn't have a bank account. So even within your own country, like internal remittances. Never thought about that before. We always think of remittances as being international, whereas you could remit internally to help bank the unbanked or not, but just by giving them some crypto and use that instead. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Especially if you use stable coins, that would be even more interesting. All right, moving on to the blog of the Lightning Labs. You know Lightning Labs, who are developing technology for the Lightning Network. This is on their actual blog. So it says our Lightning desktop app is now on the mainnet. I have actually previously discussed this app, if you remember, on the show. The difference with this one, as the headline suggests, is that it will run on the mainnet, whereas last time I looked at it, and up until now, it's been running on the Bitcoin testnet, so not real Bitcoin. Just be aware, though, that this software, and they do point this out in the article, that this is alpha software, so there's still risk of bugs being found in the code, and that could lead to losing any Bitcoin that you have in that wallet while you're playing around with it. That wasn't a risk previously because it was on the testnet, and it was only using testnet Bitcoin that you could just get from a faucet. But now we're going to be putting real Bitcoin on the mainnet into this Lightning wallet, and if it goes skew-whiff, it could potentially cause us to lose the money. But it does mean that if you're a developer or, if you're the brave type of technology tester, you can go ahead, download this and play with it on the real Lightning network. And also, if you want to play around, you can send me a Lightning donation. In the YouTube description in particular, there's a link that says donate crypto anonymously. And there you can either donate with a Bitcoin or a Litecoin on-chain transaction, or you can switch it to Bitcoin Lightning Network and send me a Lightning payment. And to date, if I just check my stats here, what we got, I'm just checking my Lightning wallet. $18.38 has been donated to me via the Lightning Network. The most recent one was on the 17th of April for 53 cents or 9,577 Satoshis. So I haven't had a donation in a week, so come on, help me out here. Anyway, now if you accept the risk of losing money in this Lightning Network software, then you can go start playing around with real payments, right? You can go ahead and do that. It's supported on Mac, Windows, and Linux, so across the board. And there's a whole bunch of improvements. Just play with it. One question I imagine I can already, doing that thing again where I do the 180-degree turn, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm sort of second guessing what you're going to say. Some of you are going to say, yeah, but what about Bitcoin transaction fees? Because it costs you a Bitcoin transaction fee to open a channel and then close one. Well, I am prepared for this. I thought about that when I was writing the notes for this episode. So I've just recently added this to my bookmarks. It's bytetree.com. BYTETREE.com, bytetree.com. So I'm on the Bitcoin mode right now, and what I can do with this is I can look up current Bitcoin transaction fees. So what we got down here in the network section, it says average fees in the last block was $2.32, and then in the week column, so the weekly average fee for a Bitcoin transaction in the last week, $1.17. Quite a bit, isn't it? Quite a bit. Now, someone else is probably going to argue like, well, what about Bitcoin Cash? It's like 2.4 cents. Well, yes, of course, and Dash, probably even less than that. It's like a third of a cent. That's all fine and dandy, but those networks don't have anywhere near the transactional load of Bitcoin, so it's not really fair to make that kind of comparison. Anyway, done the average for the week and so on, so that's the situation with the Lightning Network application. Let's move on now to the market review and the technical analysis for the day. So we're going to go to TradingView for that. Let's first off start with, let's look at the overall market view by the market cap chart. So when this thing loads up, come on, Trading View's bugging out on me right now. There we go. So the first thing is the overall market cap is down for the day. I've drawn a line of resistance on market cap here. Today's market cap overall is down by 1.95% right now. And also, if we look at it excluding Bitcoin, so that's total market cap down by 1.95%. Excluding Bitcoin, which is just altcoins, we're down close to 4% across the board. So that's altcoins losing more market cap than Bitcoin. Well, not than the overall market. So that's interesting. And you can already see that. If you look at my trading view down the right-hand side column here, you can see Bitcoin's only down by 0.8%. And you just scan your eyes down. You've got, Ripple down, XRP, sorry, down 6%, and then EOS down 5%, and then what's XLM? Stellar, isn't it? Down 5%, Tron down 5%, Bitcoin SV down 7%. So you can already see the altcoins. Tezos down 10 and Ontology down 11. So that's where the big altcoin drops are coming from. Now, I've also noticed today that not only are Bitcoin and alts down in US dollar terms, which is what I just showed you there, many of the alts are down against Bitcoin as well. So I differentiate these in my trading view. This is my watch list, if you like, in cryptos USD, but I also have just general cryptos in against the BTC. So I make a distinction between the two, because with this view, you can just look at the right-hand column and you can see Ethereum all the way down by Neo and IOTA, and they're all red. What's that? BNB. BNB is the only one that's up against Bitcoin on the day by 1.6%. Holochain is dead even at 0, but everything else is having quite a bad day by the numbers, or against Bitcoin anyway. So back to the US dollar valuations here. Let's go back to the Bitcoin US dollar charts and close off this sidebar. So Bitcoin is still holding up around I say, the $5,500 level. We're slightly below it right now at 54.87. But what else am I going to say here? Bitcoin dominance is the other thing I wanted to mention. If we look at CoinMarketCap, this is a 30-day view of Bitcoin dominance. So a week ago, we were at 51, 52%, and today we're almost back to 55%, which you would imagine, wouldn't you, if you had overall market cap of alts rather down by a more significant margin than Bitcoin, you would naturally expect the dominance to be higher. Now, on the charts, though, there's the significance of the pullback. Look, on my triple screen, the right-hand side being the hourly chart, well, the pullback seems to have happened in a single hourly candle here, most of it. This was the 8 a.m. candle by UK time. So the 1 hour chart pulling back to what you'll notice is the 50 EMA. Look at the lows. The lows are sitting right on there. So that was a lot of selling pressure right there when Bitcoin went down 2.23% in that hour from 8 to 9 o'clock in the UK, and then hit a low 54.15 and is now pulling back up again, supported by the 50 EMA. Now, Bitcoin trading volume of Coinbase also looks to have picked up in the last 48 hours. You notice in my center chart here, which is the 6 hour chart on Coinbase, look at the volume is a lot higher than it has been in the previous 48 hours, which is kind of interesting. You see the blue average volume has picked up quite a bit, and that's all happened as we've been around, or as we broke above that support and resistance level at 53.45. So that's that. I've already done the altcoins, some showing 5 to 6% drops on the day. On days like this, that kind of makes me happy that I'm holding 34% of my crypto in Bitcoin. It's the least volatile, which is both good and bad. It's the least volatile, right? So that's good on one hand, but on the other hand, people want volatility because that's how you make the gains. And that's one of the stupid arguments against crypto. People say, well, I'm not investing in crypto because it's so volatile. That's a stupid thing to say, because volatility is how you make money. If it was absolutely stable, people would go, well, I'm not investing in it because you can't make any money at it. So people just make excuses as to why they're not holding any crypto. They say volatility is a problem, and then if it wasn't volatile, they'd complain there was no gains to be had. So I'm like, don't know what to do with you. Anyway, in terms of altcoins, I did take an opportunity here against when I saw the BTC prices, the altcoin prices in BTC. One thing I noticed was that Steam was one of the hardest hit. So I'll show you the daily chart. Look at this, a big old dropped down to, I already had a support level at around 653 Satoshis, I think it was. And I saw this pulling back to support and I thought, okay, it's perfect time to buy that. So I actually just bought some Steam. I bought a few hundred Steam and thought I'd do that while the price was down. And I'm obviously betting on the support line holding, but in any case, it doesn't matter because the few hundred Steam that I bought, I've already staked it. And the reason I've done that is to enhance the cryptocurrency rewards that you get as a patron. So there's always a silver lining to these things. I've just upped my voting power on the Steam network, so patrons are now going to get more cryptocurrency rewards on a daily basis. So that's just the opportunity that I took there. And yeah, become a supporter because you get cryptocurrency rewards. You just go to Patreon, sign up, you get rid of the ads on the Cryptoverse, you get cryptocurrency rewards, and you get access to the private chat group. And like I've just shown here, whenever I get the opportunity, I will add more Steam to my account to enhance the rewards going forward. Now, the only other thing I want to mention today is Binance. The BNB coin is having a pullback, but there's more to it than that with the BNB coin. Let me just pull it up. BNB against USD. So I've been talking about this a bit recently. Yes, this is in line with the overall pullback in the crypto markets in general, but, big but. The Binance tokens have now been swapped for the mainnet tokens. You know, this whole pump, in my view, was because there was hype around Binance launching their own chain with the Binance chain. So I saw that excitement going on. And now the Ethereum-based BNB tokens have been swapped for the Binance mainnet tokens. So because that rally was based on hype and excitement around that, I was expecting that once that hit a climax, there would just be a natural dip in the emotion of the market, and that's why it would sell off a bit. And that's why I sold the rally, because I expected that to happen. And it was also at all-time highs, so I thought, well, it's going to take something, I didn't think there was enough excitement to push it past that. And in fact, there wasn't. Now, interestingly enough, we've got this is like a hanging man candle. So it's like a low rejection of a low price. It's quite a bullish sign. That looks like the bottom of the pullback, but that's just off the top of my head. I ain't prepared to talk about that. Overall, I'm going to stick to what I've said, though. This pullback doesn't feel to me like enough of a pullback, not to warrant prices moving significantly higher anyway. So for the time being, I'm remaining cautious. I'd still feel a lot better if the pullback was a lot harder than this. I know it's not nice when that happens. It's just healthy for markets to do that, It's like breathing, like natural laws and so on. So let me know what you think to all this down in the comments for today. Actually thinking about bringing the podcast feedback for free public access, but supported by adverts. So that's another incentive to join as a patron. But that's pretty much all I've prepared to talk to you about today. So please go ahead and hit your like button and check out thecryptoverse.show and become a supporter if you would be so kind. From $5, $10, or $15 a month, you can get rid of the ads, you can get access to the private chat group, and from the $10 a month level or above, you'll earn cryptocurrency rewards for just commenting on the episodes of the Cryptoverse. Pretty good. And if you like my market analysis and you want to understand the thinking behind that, check out my online course, The Master Cryptocurrency Trader. You can find that also on the website, thecryptoverse.show. Just click on courses, or you can actually click on the link down in the video description if you wish to go straight there. Thanks once again to all of my 75 patrons. Actually, I think now 74. I think someone's card declined. So 74 patrons for making this all possible. A special thank you to each and every one of you. Do appreciate it. We have a good old time in the chat, so please join us. It's a fun little community. And the fact that people are paying to be there means it's very civil. It's very adult. There's no spamming, right? It's very good. And that's one of the other benefits of having access to a private chat is that it keeps the quality higher. But that's all I've got for you today. I'll be back with the next episode of the Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.